Women's Parliamentary Caucus and members of the WPC, honorable parliamentarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you. It is certainly a privilege and honor to be here amongst you today as we stand united to reinforce our commitment toward empowering women and to celebrate the roles of women parliamentarians as the agents of change, as the leaders who would redefine democracy and social justice for times to come. I am deeply and truly honored to be here today. I would also like to extend my heartiest congratulations to the esteemed Speaker and the Women's Parliamentary Caucus for organizing this conference. It is certainly to their credit to highlight fundamental issues of rights and responsibilities and to add the voice of Pakistani and South Asian women to the universal discourse. I offer my sincerest compliments to our friends from parliaments around the world for gracing this conference. Welcome to Pakistan. Very, very warm welcome to Pakistan. And I really and truly hope that you have a very comfortable and pleasant stay in Pakistan. Madam Shaista, thank you very much for the beautiful tribute that you paid to my mother. She's truly, truly inspirational, excelled in every role she has performed. She's a wonderful mother, a very conscientious wife, and everybody knows her struggle. And she's one person I've always looked up to, turned to in times of need and uncertainty, and she's never disappointed me. And it is her legacy, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm trying to carry forward and uphold. Ladies and gentlemen, the struggle of women in many parts of the world, especially in our part of the world, has not been an easy one and is punctuated by horrors of oppression, mutilation, emotional torture, and violence. Even in the most developed parts of the world, women work 10 times as hard as men for their rights. There are less than 30 women CEOs amongst the Fortune 500 companies. Just imagine, just 30. And I'm sure every woman sitting here is a living, walking story of struggle, courage, resilience that has made her into what she is today. Ladies and gentlemen, women make a third less than men for the same job, even in the most civilized parts of the world. It can only be through a cognizant effort by a united group of bright and upstanding women like yourselves that we can successfully summit this mountain, no matter how seemingly insurmountable. And we must not trivialize the problems faced by women as they struggle for basic rights pertaining to life, health, education, economic opportunities, and social freedom. We must accept that we struggle as a society to allow women to assume their equitable roles alongside men. We must recognize the gaps and strengthen the state in providing adequate protection to disadvantaged communities in light of menaces like terrorism and discrimination, which is also a form of terrorism. We must not allow a weakened status for women or other minorities in society. I stand before you today, ladies and gentlemen, as a messenger of the dreams and aspirations of millions of women. The dreams of these women ring loud and clear to our government, and now increasingly so, we are committed to actualizing them. After all, the purpose of government is to care for its citizens in the way a mother would care for her child. Something only you could understand, something only a woman could understand. We are fortunate that as Pakistanis, we belong to a religion and society that embrace family values. It is with the help of these set of values, ladies and gentlemen, that we must make the case for men, women, and children as one unit, with women taking their equitable and democratic place in the society. I believe that for our success as a nation, we must return to our culture, true nature of our creed and religion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our government's firm commitment to build a society grounded in our indigenous values where all Pakistanis, regardless of their gender, religion, or creed, or age, are given the dignity they deserve. We envision a Pakistan where justice, freedom of thought and choice, and a peaceful, secure life is available to all. We aspire to build a nation free of the tyranny of dictatorships and oppression, free of poverty and fear, a nation where a dream and hard work are all that is required to turn opportunity into success. Where there are challenges, ladies and gentlemen, we see a wellspring of hope. Pakistan today is home to remarkable individuals whose courage, dedication, and talent humbles me daily. Malala Yousafzai became the youngest winner of the Nobel Prize for her tireless campaigns for girls' education. Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy became the first Pakistani to win Academy Awards, inspiring thousands of women. And then, ladies and gentlemen, most of all, we celebrate the life of Shaheed pilot Maryam Mukhtar, who broke the barriers of sound and life alike in service of the country. And who would dare forget the blood of Shaheed Benazir Bhutto, with which the soil of democracy in Pakistan is still drenched. We can never lose hope. We can never lose hope because of a strong tradition of female leadership that dates back to the Prophet, peace be upon him, era. His wife Khadija, who was among the most successful and wealthiest of traders in ancient Arabia. Fatima Jinnah, who was an equal partner to Muhammad Ali Jinnah in attaining the independence of Pakistan from colonial rule, is amongst our greatest heroes. Female heroism, ladies and gentlemen, especially is a part of our tradition. And I firmly believe that women, especially in our part of the world, can rise with tradition rather than rising against it. I ask that we amble forward for the simplistic notion of mere inclusion in society to roles of leadership being awarded to women. Women parliamentarians, as yourselves, are in the unique position of heralding such change in our society, championing other women, encouraging them and promoting their causes from the seats of power is at once fascinating and challenging. I urge you to appeal to your inner selves to be the harbinger of good news for your female compatriots. No woman should be left because she must have you espousing her rightful place in the march towards betterment, towards social justice, and ultimately harmonious democracy. Behind every successful woman, ladies and gentlemen, is not necessarily a successful man. It can also be a tribe of successful women who have her back. Since its inception, ladies and gentlemen, WPC has served as an emblem of the pledge that Pakistani women leaders have taken against oppression. much like the global female empowerment movement was based on the notion of no female parliamentarian left behind. Today, it is responsible for bringing valuable legislation for the protection and promotion of women with participation from and consensus of all parties. Torchbearers, Madam Mirza and Madam Shaista Pervez Malik are to be praised for this tradition of hearing and incorporating all female voices. This conference is a testament to their faith that healthy dialogue and united forces will definitely yield desired results for women globally. And ladies and gentlemen, in the end, here's to all strong women out there. May we know them, may we raise them, may we be them. Thank you very much.